Hi and welcome. Picture yourself standing on the sun-baked summit of Masada, 73 on the All. Around you, the Judean desert stretches to the shimmering Dead Sea below. Before you rise the fortress walls built by King Herod towers, palaces, storerooms carved into the living rock. In a few hours, the mighty 10th Roman Legion will unleash its full might against this last refuge of Jewish zealots. The air is thick with dust and anticipation, each breath tasting of sand and impending battle. Today, you will witness their desperate stand for freedom, a siege that will echo across the centuries. Prepare to step back in time. The Great Revolt, from Jerusalem to Masada. Only a few years ago, Judea erupted in rebellion against Roman rule. In 66 A, Jerusalem's streets ran red, and the Second Temple fell in flames. Zealots fighters sworn to resist fled southward as legions crushed uprisings. A band led by Eleazar ben Yai climbed Masada sheer western face under cover of night. They carried scant supplies, but unmatched resolve. Sealed within Herod's abandoned palaces, they proclaimed, "Better to perish free than live enslaved." Refuge on the heights, fortifying the citadel. Upon reaching the summit, the zealots found cisterns brimming with rainwater and storehouses stocked with preserved dates, barley cakes, and olive oil. They barricaded internal gates, repaired crumbling walls, and reinforced towers with timber salvage. Under the watchful gaze of carved reliefs, priests consecrated the palace courtyards, chanting invocations to Yahweh for protection. Children were hidden behind kitchen walls. Warriors drilled with wooden swords. Every rock and column became both shield and sanctuary. Roman encirclement. The 10th Legion arrives. At dawn on the horizon, legions appeared like marching hills, centuries-worn cuirasses glinting, standards fluttering. Cohorts fanned out to establish camps on all accessible slopes. Engineers unloaded ballistae and torsion catapults, while centurions surveyed the fortress's defenses. Supply trains disgorged tons of earth and stone for siege engines. As the sun climbed, the Romans raised their eagle banner, a message that no stronghold would escape their discipline. Daily life under siege, courage and tension. Inside Masada's walls, the zealots carried on routine as if at any other festival, drawing water from cisterns, baking barley loaves, and patching garments. Yet every dawn brought the thunder of siege engines. Screams from the ramp's foot, the thud of stone shot by catapults, and the steady drip of trickling dust reminded all that death lurked just outside. Children huddled in hidden chambers. Elders whispered psalms in the echoing halls. Each man and woman silently vowed to resist until the end. Engineering triumph. Building the earthen ramp, Roman ingenuity found its path up the western slope. Legions set up retaining timber walls, behind which they filled thousands of baskets with earth, rocks, and broken masonry. Day after day, the ramp rose 30 cubits, 60 cubits inch by inch. Dust clouds billowed around the fortress walls like a siege-born storm. Zealot lookouts on the ramparts cursed and prayed in equal measure, scouring each laboring legionary for weakness, yet powerless to stop the advance. Night probes and skirmishes, testing the walls. Under moonlight, detachments of legionaries climbed makeshift ladders, probing the southern curtain wall. Each raid ended in furious defense. Zealot archers loosed flaming arrows, and boiling oil sizzled on Roman shoulders. Ballista bolts whistled overhead, some embedding in towers. others launching into the central courtyard with thunderous crash. Every skirmish cost lives on both sides, but the Romans learned the fortress's every crack. The Zealots learned the legionaries' determination. The final assault, breach and breakthrough. Weeks turned into months. At first light on a cloudless morning, trumpets signaled the legion's assault. Thousands of soldiers swarmed the ramp. Shields locked, pila leveled. Zealots poured searing oil from vats, hurled rocks from battlements, and swung swords in frantic close-quarters combat. Under crushing weight of numbers and momentum, the northern wall finally gave way. Dust and screams filled the air as Romans poured into the courtyard. Steel against steel, desperation against duty. The pact of death, choosing freedom's end. With exits sealed and no hope of relief, Eleazar convened every man, woman, and child in the water cistern chamber. In hushed voices, he reminded them of their oath. We swore to die free. Let none live as slaves to Rome. One by one, families exchanged mournful embraces, thrusting knives into their hearts. Priests chanted blessings as the sacrament of final breath passed through trembling lips. The pyre on the ramparts consumed the last zealot, and silence reclaimed Masada's stones. 10. Dawn of silence. Rome's empty victory. When the sun rose, a party of centurions and engineers climbed the ramp to claim victory. They found an eerily silent citadel, no living soul, only preserved food stores, intact wealth, and empty weapons racks. On the highest tower, they raised the eagle standard in triumph, but no cheers answered. The cost of conquest lay not in bodies at their feet, but in the ghostly echo of a people who chose death over dishonor. 11. Legacy of Masada. Symbol beyond time. News of Masada's final stand spread throughout the empire, reaching palaces and provinces alike. It entered Jewish lore as the ultimate testament to faith and freedom. Centuries later, modern generations would restore cisterns, pathways, and walls, turning Masada into a sacred monument. To this day, its silent ramp and shattered stones stand as a reminder. True liberty may demand the highest price. 12. Conclusion. Echoes on the desert wind. The siege of Masada endures as a story of courage, conviction, and tragic resolve. On this rocky plateau, nearly 1,000 souls chose death rather than submission, forging a legacy that echoes across millennia. May their last stand inspire every heart that cherishes freedom.